Have you ever seen a user so bad at sucking up and handling criticism it's laughable? If you haven't had that experience yet, this might just be your first. Sup guys, Spacey here, and after you get fat and become an antisocial motherfucker during Thanksgiving, we'll get to today's user, that being JackMUGEN. Oh wait, it's JackNEON-Retros. Well, let's get on to it anyway. So, if you've been a part of the package reviewer fandom for the last couple of months, you may have heard of Jack, as he's been an annoying pest in that fandom with many stupid actions done. But what are those actions, you may ask? Well, let me show you everything Jack has done, even going back to times you never expected to go. Now, the story of JackMUGEN goes all the way back to somewhere around 2017, with this channel called JackMUGEN, with a space. Not like the other one without a space. And it has videos like...
Sorry, my best friend has died. Now, the only I can defend myself is only my not fault. It was only your fault.
And...
You're Angela. More like user spammer. Oh my freaking god. Sus. Why? 1. She spends innocent people by
Love you. Do you remember me?
yeah, not high quality videos. They're just really standard user group like material. There's also his old DeviantArt profile, but I don't want to judge him based off old pictures that he likely disowned. But we'll get to that art soon, don't worry. There's also this alt channel featuring some zombie stuff made a few months later, alongside an alternate DeviantArt account with nothing of substance to it, shockingly enough. JackMUGEN was also an epic gamer as well, with these epic gamer videos to prove his gamer swag and... for fuck's sake, why do you have 3 DeviantArt accounts that are inactive? Same with the YouTube as well. Can't you just deactivate the accounts you don't use? But he is very so normal though, so I guess that makes up for that. The gaming account also has a Twitter as well, which isn't really all too special. The only thing I found noteworthy of it was this tweet. What if the internet was so slow it loaded one word at a time? Defend hashtag net neutrality, battleforthenet.com. Oh yeah, remember net neutrality? Yeah, it was just a bunch of fear-mongering for petty and paranoid reasons. He even posted about it 3 months after the repeal took place. Not to mention this isn't even much of a concern for him since he's not in the US, where those protections were served. So in the end, that tweet just served as a net neutrality good kind of thing, you know? The kind of stuff that people pander to. But man, Jack can really go around places. Finally, in terms of classic accounts, is this one, which only has 2 videos. Yeah, nothing really noteworthy on this, despite the ironic funnies to it. So yeah, so far there hasn't been much to say, but now we got into his modern accounts. So yeah, this is gonna be extra fun, let me tell you. First on our little trip is the DeviantArt account, his 4th to my knowledge. Made around 2 years ago, and we already had some sketch to it. Not much now, but when we get to the rules section, it'll get to godly and sketchy territory heaven. So let's read some of the rules, only the ones that interest me. No sexual words. Oh boy, I'm gonna break the rules. Penis. No being racist. Also N-words. Why specify the N-word when the rules should get the idea across fine? You could have alternatively said, no being racist, and especially no uses of the N-word. No stealing theft art. I know what art theft is, but what is a theft art? No bad and misbehaving pieces of stuff. How can I misbehave on a piece of stuff? And what stuff do you mean exactly? No coronavirus OCs. Oddly specific rule, but it should be outdated as soon as people forget about the virus. If you break the rules, you're being blocked to not seeing this content. No joke. Whoa, that English really intimidated me. Yeah, I only briefly mentioned this beforehand, that he's from Brazil, aka hell, so I guess I can forgive some of the poor grammar, even if the rules are way too vague in my opinion, for them to be effectively used. There is also the best lines, which I don't get why this is here. I mean, what purpose does this serve on the profile other than making it more bloated? Okay, that is odd. But now let's move on to his final thing, the likes and dislikes. While not bad at first, outside of the poor structure, when we look back at this, he'll look like a hypocrite. Like a really major hypocrite. Look, here's one right now. And that's with the grammar. Whoops. Now beyond the interests, there's nothing really else to talk about in his bio. So let's stop making fun of JackMUGEN's grammar and get on to what his account is about. The artwork. Well, his art is rather mixed quality-wise. Seems like he's got some stuff down, like very basic proportions and coloring, but there's also a lot of color designs, unnatural bending positions, and some really ugly details. Like a lot of the characters have these ungodly proportions and it looks so unnatural. The line work is also rather meh, with some of it being fine, and others having this odd styling, mainly with the hands, elbows, and other features like that. Also, the fact that he's horny as well, but we'll get to that later. It does look like his art is improving somewhat, but I still think a few overalls to the art style are necessary to grow beyond a few improvements here and there. I also feel like referencing more real-life images will help as well to get things just right. As is, the drawings are really stiff and overall really mediocre. The art isn't just singular adventures though, as there's also some series he's made, like Super Botman, a comic about a super robot going on a random adventure or something, and the Re-Smart Man, which is pretty much him coping with school stuff from what I've seen from the series. Nothing really to roast from these series, as they're really just boring to read and not interesting at all. Like, seriously, I couldn't even get past 2 or so pages before just blanking out and hitting the back button. But he doesn't just draw stuff on his gallery, there's also memes. Pretty typical of DeviantArt to have memes like these, but these reach all new levels of bad. Ah yes, it's not like your behavior is similar to Maxie's, even if hers was way more objectionable. Wow, imagine having this big of an ego to put yourself as a Chad. Also, add text. You know, these tributes are so shit, even Club Autism members could make more respectful tributes. You really couldn't be bothered to make a real drawing, or at least just make a status post? Would be way better than making these Photoshop abominations. The last meme we have is some 0x Paladin level stuff. Godly. Finally, we have his journals. While some contain material which can be seen as objectionable, it's nothing that's really that bad, which we won't mention later. Except for this now deleted status post. Yeah, Jack, you're looking like a huge hypocrite here, and this plays into a little beef I'll go into detail about now. Now, if you don't know who Pinkkitty is, he is a transgender pedophile who loves to grow and inflate Loud House characters, particularly with Lincoln Loud, the main Loud of the series. And he is a huge asshole as well, as seen with the status post we're going to show later. Packages friends managed to call out to this user, which included Jack at the time. Later, after Jack was outed as being equally bad, Pinkkitty saw a ripe opportunity to attack Jack, and he somehow got more obsessed with him over time. This led to shit flaming from both sides. This image I made, which was shared in Package server, can basically describe the battles both of them had. It's as pathetic as it looks and sounds. Now, Jack hates Pinkkitty for attacking users and being petty with rants, but Jack himself has done similar stuff to him. Let's look at these images as perfect examples. Wow, both of them are really this petty about rants and calls about them. Jack really thinks he's on the moral high ground here about this too. Nope, both of you contain huge virgin energy for those egos you have. Gotta love Jack's irony. This isn't even just a DeviantArt thing either. Look at these YouTube comments. Imagine making threats towards people you don't like, especially if they're death threats. I can at least give Pinkkitty an inspired dirty pad for screenshotting this comment, since Jack later edited the comment to make it less malicious, but that still doesn't excuse you, Jack. Like, that really doesn't excuse you. You're almost as bad in this situation, in fact. But before this is over, let me show you this from Jack as well. Smooth move, Jack, of trying to kill him. Totally put you in the right and on the moral high ground there, Jack. You really are making yourself look really good with this. This is another short segment, but I feel like I have to talk about his Instagram and Twitter since they also have some content to them. His Instagram is mostly meh, but there is some funnies here or there. Man, I love TikTok Lives Matter. Cat. Nothing really else to say. I'll cover this more in the YouTube section, but why does Jack love being a hipster? They are looked down upon by many for a reason. Trashy ego stuff. Finally, we have Jack's reaction to the drama he had. Wah. He also has a Twitter as well, which contains some funnies as well. This gives me tons of horny vibes. Not all too surprising from Jack though. Ooh. Well, I can't blame you for hating Maxi Gold. God, me and others hate Maxi too. But the fact you're also guilty of stalking makes you a massive hypocrite, and this just screams angry rage post. Really makes you look right in the situation, especially to Maxi's white knights. I at least give you credit for calling out the creepy art of underage users, but that's as far as my praise goes for this. What's all the empty space in the head for? Not good anatomy. Now onto the final one, which is super godly. Like VisiPop would care about your little series so much. Very delusional, I know. Probably simpish too. But now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let's get to the really big one now. And I do mean really, really big. This is Jack's main YouTube channel, and wow, this is very empty. I remember there being way more stuff on this channel. Well, let's first talk about what is on this channel before we get to the elephant in the room that Jack loves to shove away in a closet. So, there are a few memes in a trailer. Nothing really too objectionable, but very, very boring. There's also his playlist as well with amazing grammar. Seems like he's also removing playlists as well. Most likely to move away from the drama. But let's not beat around the bush with these miscellaneous videos and move on to the rants. And oh boy, they are something. Now, before I talk about the rants, let me just say that these rants have been gone for a while, as JackMUGEN loves to delete stuff like that. And you may even wonder why I'm even talking about them. Well, let me just say that if Jack plans to return to rants, he should listen to this. Hell, if you're getting into rants in general, this advice may be useful to you. Okay, let's begin critiquing his videos proper. First off is the intros. The first one was stolen from a pre-existing logo, Prism Entertainment to be exact, only with the JackMUGEN logo plastered at the end along with the text-to-speech voice, which is really lazy and incompetent, especially if you want to be looked at as trustworthy. Like, why would I watch someone who couldn't even be bothered to make his own intro and instead decided to steal it? Stealing will be a big theme as well, so make sure to check that out when we get there. Later, he replaced it with what I like to call the Beats logo. A fine intro, but why is it in 4x3? Sure, the other intros wasn't 4x3, as it was an 80s logo meant to fit a CRT, but the background was black, and the source was also the same, so I could excuse it there. But here, it's really distracting, especially since the videos that this logo contained in were 16:9. Hell, I easily made 16:9 for a shitpost, and it looks a million times better, even despite me not putting that much effort into it. Seriously, keeping your aspect ratios consistent should be an editing requirement. Now onto the rants themselves. Big shocker, they are not very good. While the editing is passable with good visuals, the audio is horrendous with very loud music that drowns out the speaking. A lot of the background music contains lyrics which distracts from the speaking as well. Jack also has some English to him and sometimes speaks way too fast. It's to the point where it's hard to know what he's referring to and what he's trying to say. Combine the flaws and you have an audio diarrhea for everyone to listen to. Not good, not good. His targets also make him look like a hypocrite as well. For example, his rant on the aforementioned Pinkkitty. Apparently they're the only user who has been covered by both the old series and the new series. Looking back at the Jack vs Pinkkitty segment for the hypocrisy there, the points are also stolen from other YouTubers as well, like the Package Reviewer and Daniel Soja. These examples from the Kolobi rant, for example, are from Daniel Soja's video. So, watch them and see how the hypocrisy flows.
Who is this guy? Does make clean content? The answer is no.
Who is this man?
because he makes premium content? Well, the answer is clear, he did not make premium content.
He steals the fan arts and not taking criticism.
In his thumbnails, he steals fan arts and does not even credit them.
And also, Kolobi thinks about Spider-Man could be in a Loud house because of Lincoln Loud and Spider-Man wear the shape heads. What the heck?
He thinks that Spider-Man will be in Loud House because Lincoln and Spider-Man has circle-shaped heads. What the fuck?
Why are you concerned about bad work? Find some cartoons who's sworn like you did Looney Tunes before.
Try to find some actual episodes of cartoon characters swearing like you did with Looney Tunes, like you did with SpongeBob.
Finn said the word heck.
Oh my god, Finn said the kind of H word, and also heck is not a bad word.
Finn said the word heck.
Oh my god, Finn said the H word. This is so sad, and actually, heck is not a bad word.
Why everything is a bad word? Utshucks is not a bad word, and then times go. And also, dummy is not a bad word.
You keep assuming that everything's a bad word.
Cyborg just said a bad word on Teen Titans Go.
You said aw shucks.
And the bad word is dummy.
He stole idea for the cartoon beatbox battle. For the best guy for the beatbox video game.
A lot of people think that he stole that idea from beatboxer Verbalassa. He's the Tetris beatbox meme man.
It isn't a one video thing either, as I know the Saytoon rant took several points directly from Package Reviewer, and the Mr. Rabbity rant took stuff from Fat Autistic Kid, along with other videos Jack made stealing points. It is honestly very pathetic to steal points from a rant of this nature. Not only does it make it look unoriginal and bland, but it also makes you come across as a poser. This stealing is also a reason why he ended up having drama with the Package Reviewer fandom, which I'll get into now. Well, now let's get into the worst stuff Jack has done, featuring stalking, lies, and hypocrisy. The first known appearance of Jack that I know of is his video by Daniel Soja and his art making a cameo in the Package Reviewer in 2017. I guess both of these events in his head made him a friend with bunches of fucking quotes around it, even though he wasn't connected that well to them beyond fan art from what we know. The latter made him not only plagiarize the Package fandom's rants, but also suck up to them within the community, from making 0 cents in Package's Discord server, tracing, to being a creepy stalker for months on end, which later, even after he made his apologies, which I'll cover next, he still tried to be a stalker suck up to BracketNeutron37 and followed his DeviantArt account. Bracket didn't even take much issue at first, but was annoyed previously with his actions in the Package Reviewer Discord server. He even tried to appeal to him by drawing a character synonymous with Bracket, the magical alien companion guy. I'll let him explain his side of the story as well, because it's interesting to hear. So, take it on, Bracket.
Heyo everyone, Bracket barging right in here. So Jack, care to explain this little piece of art you made? I mean, I'm honestly kinda flattered that you drew the essence of life itself, not gonna lie. But I must admit, your possible motive for creating it is pretty sus to say the least. Knowing you have a tendency to rip people off wholesale for your rants and everything, down to sucking up to your own influences, I feel like you made this specifically to appeal to me. And hey, you sort of succeeded with that. I think your take on Dinko's pretty cute. I even saved it to my PC, which shows how much I liked it. However, please do not take this as a means of respect, since if what I believe is true, you're a slimy slob, man. You're not even a revolting slob. You're just slimy. Which is worse. Also, Spacey mentioned that you were stalking a bunch of users, and I believe I'm one of your victims since you followed me on DeviantArt and faved a lot of my work. From what I'm aware, you haven't ripped off any of my art or videos exactly, but given your past, it wouldn't shock me if you tried. This art in particular being your most obvious example. Thank you for drawing the legendary Dinku, but I'm not a fan of the implications for why you did so. Sorry, Jack, but that doesn't immediately get you on my good side. You gotta draw some Jamal the Funny Frog and Rock-A-Rom before you get to that honor. Anyways, that's all I've got to say. Returning to the Spacey show, but remember, please stand Dinko.
You're welcome, Bracket, for your side of the story. It's really great to see the side of the story never told before. So yeah, and even after JackMUGEN stalked all the people, he went on a live stream and decided to simp for some Bri Coochie. Yeah, with bonus denial points as well for those spicy lolcow points. Horny bitch. After all of that, things were getting bad for Jack. So, how does he manage to get on Package and Friends' good side? By making fake-ass apology videos, that's what. So yeah, there are a lot of apologies. Way more than anyone should realistically need if they really were sorry. So let's get through them. So first is this apology made on September 15th, 2019. And oh boy, is it a fucking doozy, alright. Like, seriously, this has to be one of the whiniest apologies of all time. Just look at this part as an example.
I was trying to prove myself as I could, but no. I got kicked out of his Discord server. Zuri's Discord server, Daniel's Discord server, Manning assigned as Discord server, and Carol's production Discord server. I got kicked out. Everything. I got kicked out. Bro, what's wrong with you? I thought you were a nice person. Guys, I'm sorry for stealing everything ever. I'm sorry for lying.
Yeah, very pathetic and very, very sad. Enough said. A few hours later, yes, that soon, Jack made a second apology, which is one of the most manipulative apologies of all time. Seriously, the sad visuals, the upsetty music with the rain sound effects, and the sad puppy-like voice Jack is trying to make for a video to get feels.
And this happens. When I talk to my friend Rising in this Discord server, I'm so sorry what I've done to you.
But this isn't fooling me, nor anyone with a goddamn brain. Overall, a sad attempt to win people over. You'd think this ends here, and for a while it was, but Jack soon came back with this video clarifying the drama, just proving everyone's problems with him. It also had zero signs of improvement from Jack either, as it's just another video with the same sad tactics as the second apology video. I shall also mention that I was up for the longest of all the videos to stay up on the channel, only being removed a few days prior to this part of the script being written. Yeah, Jack is currently going through a purging phase with his stuff, with his later apology blunders being removed in a few days after upload. Gives me John the TV show fan flashbacks. And God knows I don't want John the TV show fan flashbacks. Now, since those 3 videos were uploaded, people were owning Jack hard with the glitchy rant, which also featured Brian Daniel, and Maniac exposing him in an epic compilation. The only flaw with the Maniac video was that it was only in 240p, but knowing his laptop was crap, I can at least somewhat excuse it. The Maniac video in particular was what inspired Jack to make an expose on Glitchy and Friends, so that is how this video was made. Yep, despite him admitting he was in the wrong, he still tried to expose them. Let's watch the full video to see his points. Jack, you do know that was a joke? You can find it funny, but Glitchy wasn't using malice against you.
No joke. Because nigga the Bulungo making
Another joke, this time way more innocent. And boo-hoo, you couldn't get another stalking victim. Wah. Another inoffensive joke. You aren't looking good, man. You aren't looking good with those points. Oh no, people calling you out and being frustrated that you're a stalker? My god. Really, man? Complaining like that over something this tiny? Bro, you admitted to stalking a few times. Stop trying to deny that. Really? Where is it? Fun fact, it was a warning, not a death threat. Context? Seriously, you look like you have a big ego here. Oh boy, it was that funny ass white knight who responded to me. Just read the comments shown in Jack's video if you really want to get an idea of how pathetic the white knight is. Denial. Oh no, people leaving. How horrible. This dude really getting pissy about this? You deserve it, Jack, to be honest. Oh no, people not trusting you, and you wonder why. Don't post memes in general, guys. Real Discord moderator energy there. Maniac was just confirming facts, man. Then we ended off with an overused media clip. Joy. Also the complete irony at the end, since you raged out in the comments and removed the video due to people disliking it. Not good on your part, Jack. Not good. And that is how this travesty ends. No wonder it got deleted, as it got Jack into a ton of flack for the false evidence and decreased his reputation even further. Especially from Maniac, since he did his own response, making Jack look even more like a joke than before. We got one more video to go, and it's the final Jack video until 2021 when he returns. Of course, I don't think he's gonna 100% make up on that promise, but let's save that for final thoughts. That being the truth behind me. Woo, fancy. This video is just more of Jack whining. Let's look a little deeper though and see why this video was so bad. JackMUGEN ate cement when he was 6.
Stop crying, man. Stop crying. Hey, everybody lose money. It's the way.
Wow, I got criticism.
Gary, now I know I was
Oh, there's me.
wrong. I messed up and now you're gone.
What have I done?
Gary, I'm sorry I neglected you. No.
And like a baby, instead of taking the advice, he just mopes and acts sad. Very pathetic, since we had standards for you, which even some of the lowest ranking members of the community managed to follow.
I never expected you to run away and leave me feeling this empty. You're me out right now.
You know, you were very flip-floppy on your positions, man. First you admitted it, took it back, and then admitted it again. That really ruins trust in people, and your trust was already tarnished to begin with. And now this ruins any sort of chance of it recovering.
I would sound like music to me. Please come home, cause I miss you, Gary. Gary, come home. Gary, can't you see I was blind? I'll do anything to change your mind. More than pet, you're my best friend, too cool to forget. Come back, cause we are family. And forgive me for making you want to roam. Now my heart is beating like the saddest metronome. So man, I hope you're reading my last 3 word poem. Gary, come home. Gary, come home. Gary, come home. Gary, come home.
And just like Farhan the Movie Guy, which Bracket reviewed before, Jack tries to admit he was wrong while still playing victim. Pathetic as hell, man. Besides, why can't you just improve? It's not that hard to be nice. What's preventing you from being nice and taking criticism? Seriously, I'm so confused at your motives.
Gary, come.
So far, Jack, outside of maxi callouts, you have failed at improving, and you're repeating the cycle, man. Overall, very, very bad. You deserve to cry and be upset. You handled this drama so poorly, it killed any hope of people seeing you improve. The fact you're still moping and throwing tantrums about this is proof of your bad handling of the drama. And after more emotional manipulation, this is how this final travesty of an apology ends. The package fandom was sick of Jack pulling the same victim card again, so none of them interacted with Jack at all. Hell, outside of his White Knights, me and Bracket were the only two people who commented on the video, both of our comments basically showing how poorly he handled the drama. He responded to both of us and even hearted my comment, oddly enough. Despite both me and Bracket's comments being constructive and Jack knowing them, I still doubt we managed to impact Jack in any meaningful way. Really hope he can prove us wrong in 2021, but I think he's gonna stay the same, only still for me, Bracket, All Magic Critic, Package Reviewer, and hell, even Chino Reavers, otherwise known as Jesus Bazooka 79, if Jack is really desperate. So this is the reason I want to make this critique, to show Jack once and for all of his wrongdoings and hopefully make him go back into the right steps to redeem himself. But even if he doesn't, this video will still be good as an expose video on Jack and why to avoid him. So let's get on to my conclusions to end this longer critique. So what are my overall thoughts? Well, first off, let me say that Jack is the least bad out of all the people I hate. I mean, he hates infamously bad users, outside of being a hypocrite, is improving his art, and even as it stands now, it's just painfully mediocre, and compared to Lambo and John, Jack at least has production values, even if it still kinda sucks. That doesn't mean Jack is good by any means though, as he's a major hypocrite, makes painfully mediocre art in video works, and has far-hand the movie guy levels of handling drama and hate. It makes Jack look very pathetic and sad with how sensitive he is about admitting his faults. Now onto suggestions and advice for Jack to improve, since unlike the last two episodes, Jack is someone I could see improving. First off, with the art, I would ditch the flat face style, as it doesn't seem to work well with the bodies. And speaking of those bodies, they feel really off and unnatural. Using more references could go a long way to fix this issue if you are really going for a more realistic take. Along with the artwork, I think this series really need more variety to spice them up. Maybe rework the stories and stuff like that to make them more interesting, because as they stand, they're very, very boring. As for videos, improving your audio bouncing is going to help you a lot when speaking, and get someone to read over those scripts to fix that broken English, so a lot more people will listen to you and understand you. And finally for videos, make an effort to write original rants and stop plagiarizing. Sure, taking influence is good and healthy, I mean, look at my influences, but taking points with your flavor of English is not a good way of making rants, and no one will treat you seriously if you do that method. Finally, with your behavior. First off, stop with the stalker-like behavior. People find it creepy and disturbing, and it lowers people's trust in you. Second, stop being a hypocrite with stuff. It makes you look untrustworthy as a ranter and as a person. Finally, handle drama better. The fact you try to pull the same song and dance with your critics instead of using facts and logic to fix their points, or you know, taking the criticism and moving on, is really bad for your image. Seriously, going into your infant form and failing to reason with people will make you look like a man-child and a major laughingstock. I genuinely hope this advice helps you improve, but I'm not sure how effective it will be. I hope you can prove me wrong and improve as a person, Jack. I could see potential in you. But my expectations with you are currently at rock bottom, so you're gonna have to try a lot to improve. And no, Jack, sucking up to me and drawing characters like Stereo from Space Goofs, or any of my other characters I'm obsessed with, is not gonna help your reputation at all. So don't attempt any of that, Jack. Do you understand that? But now ends this video, and wow, what a turkey stuffer that was. There was a lot more to say than I originally anticipated. Really was a fun episode to make, and I hope you all really enjoy that. And I got something really good for the Christmas season heading forward, so make sure to check out my channel for further updates about that. And you should all hit the like and subscribe, hit that bell, and I'm going to see you soon, and I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Bye!